Kickoff here. Doug Boyle set the kickoff for Mount Union. Reggie Johnson, a 5'11", 185-pound freshman from Miami, Florida. He'll play tailback when they pick up behind the ball. The boot from Boyle. Deep into his arm, early out, and they will put it in play at the 20-yard line. Just a gorgeous day for football here in the heartland of America. Here you see the lineups for Heidelberg. Fulton, the new kid, will start at quarterback. You'll have Reggie Johnson, the tailback. Scott Urban at fullback. We may see Kent Dunn in there as well. And the receivers, Ray Thompson and Chuck Ritzler. They'll line up behind these fellas. Bob Kerpeel, Aquino, Clark, Hill, Washington Ray, and Cleet Richardson, the tight end. He will also see plenty of action today. So the student princes of Heidelberg in the white uniforms, reminiscent of the Cincinnati Bengals, will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Shane Fulton at quarterback. Gives to the tailback there, number 28, Reggie Johnson. And Johnson, a good hit there. Doesn't look like he got anything on the play, Rick.
He certainly did, and their great linebacker, Troy Starr of Mount Union, made a good play. Lateral move right to the football tackle.
And Mike Peterbaugh from Alliance also in on that play. That'll make it 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Interesting change here. Heidelberg going with a young freshman, Shane Fulton, number 17 at quarterback. There you see his stats on the year. Again, the given there to number 28, Reggie Johnson. And the Mount Union defense is playing very, very tough here in the early going. Well, before the ball game, we talked to the coaches, and Heidelberg knows they're going to have to try and run this, even though, as we mentioned in the pregame show, both teams certainly like to put the ball in the air and like to pass. Here's the defensive line for Mount Union. Mayfield, Peterbaugh, Heather, Rich Kensierski in there. They've got some pretty big beef up front. The linebackers, Heberbrand, Starr, Danahay, and Fry. Heidelberg now with a 3rd down play from the 20-yard line, rolling to the near side. Fulton out here to Ray Thompson. He has to come back for the ball, but he makes the grab, and it's good for the 1st down up near the 34-yard line. The right cornerback, Neil Kime, in on the play. 14 yards on that play, and the Mount Union defensive secondary will have to contain with Shane Fulton, Jeff Witovich, Mark Rogg, and Neil Kime. Kime, the right cornerback, number 26, in on that stop. So Heidelberg here on their opening possession of this football game, a 1st down. They have a 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Ritzler comes to the near side. He's number 84. The full house backfield. And on the draw, they go to number 28. That is Reggie Johnson again. He busts his way in the near side here over left tackle for a gain of about 3. Makes that 6 on the play.
Well, Mike, I believe that Heidelberg is surprising Mount Union a little bit with this power I formation. They haven't shown it. All it is, a little delay play to Johnson. He picks his hole, turns the ball upfield, and again, as I say, a little surprise by Heidelberg with the power I.
Coach, I think you called it in the opening ceremonies where we were talking about the fact that the quarterbacks really like to put the ball in the air, but whoever is going to win this football game is going to be the team that can control on the ground. And as you say, we are seeing from Heidelberg here a formation we have not seen all year.
Well, and Heidelberg is also going against about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, so that will hurt their passing.
2nd and 4 now from the 41-yard line. Fulton checks that full house backfield again. The tailback is Johnson. The quick man through is Kent Dunn from Decatur, Georgia, 5'10", 225-pound freshman. He's averaging about 4 yards. Picked up about 3 there. John Heather, the right defensive tackle, in on the stop along with Mike Peterbaugh. Looks like they're going to run it right up the gut.
Well, what it does, it keeps the football away from that fine Mount Union offense. And as I say, with the wind in Heidelberg's face, it makes that clock wind down for them to get the wind at their back the 2nd quarter.
3rd down, 2 yards to go from the 43-yard line. Heidelberg now with a lone setback, and they give it to the fullback, Kent Dunn. Doesn't look like he got the 1st down, though. Good stop on the play, Mike Peterbaugh. He's a local kid from Alliance. And Glenn Danahay, the right inside linebacker from Lakewood, Ohio, in on the stop for Mount Union. He did not make it. It was a 4th and 1, and so Heidelberg will elect to punt. Mount Union goes deep, and here is the kick now from Heidelberg, kicking from his own 35-yard line. It's a short kick. Hits ground at about the 30, goes into the 30, down near the 25-yard line where the ball is down. No score in the ball game. Heidelberg and Mount Union, a kick of 32 yards, and we will be back with the Mount Union team in just a moment. 11:20 remaining to play in the first quarter. There is no score. Mount Union with their first possession of the ball. They will take it over, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Heidelberg moved the ball well, but just couldn't get it and were stymied back on about the 43-yard line, forced to punt. So here come the Purple Raiders of Mount Union, moving from left to right across your screen, wearing the purple and white like the Minnesota Vikings. Cola on his first attempt, incomplete. Attempted for number 22, Rick Hairston, the flanker out of Cleveland, but he was out of bounds, says the officials. Here's a look at Mount Union. They'll line up this way. The quarterback is Cola, and he is a good one. The halfback, Warner, he'll catch a lot of passes today, as will the fullback, Jay Corlew. And the receivers, Rod King and Rick Hairston. King and Hairston missed last week's ball game, but they're back in there. And they'll work behind this offensive line. Again, a good front line. The tight end is Rich Gershom. They also use him a lot, especially in crossing plays over the middle. The second man through on the play is number 38, Ed Warner, from Dover, Ohio. In on the stop, the inside linebacker for Heidelberg, Roosevelt Barrick. Barrick, coach, is a guy, another one of those Miami, Florida connections for Heidelberg.
Would you believe that they have 25 young men on that Heidelberg squad that's from Florida? I'd like to drive that bus up from there.
There you see the defensive line, the defensive secondary. Walker is a good one. He's leading the team. He's got a couple of interceptions. Ashton has 4. Now Cola to put the ball in the air, scrambling for his life, and barely gets it back near the line of scrimmage. In on the stop was Gordon McCracken, number 92, along with Alan Reed, the defensive tackles for Heidelberg. There's some big boys there. Reed, 6'1", 235, a senior from McMurray, Pennsylvania. Gordon McCracken from Homestead, Florida, another one of those fellas for Heidelberg, 6'3", 230, and a freshman. Fourth and 8. Rich Gershom will do the kicking and gets off a boomer, sending Ritzler all the way back to his own 26-yard line. Slips, reverses field. A flag is thrown where the ball is, and he is brought down by number 79 for Heidelberg, Washington Ray. 49 yards on the punt. Gershom will do a lot of the punting. Steve Harder also in on that play for Mount Union. There's a flag on the play. The officials out there ready to mark it off. Rick, where they threw that flag, is going to call a clip apparently against Heidelberg. The flag was thrown by the official that was backed by the receiver, and there was nobody within 5 yards of him.
I had a difficult time seeing where the clip was because, as you point out, the official was many yards away from it.
By the return team, first down.
So Heidelberg, losing out, hurting on that penalty, will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. Shane Fulton, the young man at quarterback. He's a freshman from Hialeah, Florida. Kind of getting a baptism by fire today. His first start against a school that has a fierce rivalry. 1st and 10, 14-yard line. The I formation. The quick man through. That is Kent Dunn from Decatur, Georgia. He's averaging about 4 yards on the pop. In on the stop, Rick Kenzerski from Cleveland, 6'1", 210, a senior.
Again, all they're trying to do is wind that clock a little bit, Mike. They're in the hole, but I think their game plan is good. Keep the ball on the ground, make the clock go.
9:30 remaining to play in the first quarter. There is no score. Mount Union and Heidelberg from Alliance, Ohio. Mike Barry along with Rick Forzano. 2nd down and 7. Ball on the 17-yard line. And they try to push it right up the gut and get nowhere. Mike Heberbrand, the left outside linebacker, and Glenn Danahay, number 42, the inside linebacker, in on the stop for the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
Well, now this is something that Heidelberg didn't want. They don't want to have 3rd down and long if you're coming in here with a ball control plan. So now it looks like they may have to put the ball in the air.
It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go. The ball on the 18-yard line. Fulton rolls to the near side, and he's going to keep it. He's across the 20-yard line and out of bounds, short of the 1st down.
He rolled out of there, Mike, but he had no intention to throw the football. He came out there with a run. They're going to play it safe, and they just want to be able to punt the football.
Coach, something I've never been able to understand is if you're going to go on a sweep or a rollout with the intention of keeping the ball, why do you run to the short side of the field? You run out of territory. Neil Kime and Ray Arnone are back to receive. Kime with the ball at his own 45-yard line and loses about 3 as he's knocked back to about the 42. So Mount Union will take over 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. No score in the ball game. Heidelberg and Mount Union. Here's a look at Ken Wabel, the head coach at Mount Union in his 22nd year. He's been here a long time. 104 victories, 87 losses, and a couple of ties. The Purple Raiders, 1st and 10 from their own 43. Cola in the air. Complete to Rod King down near the 43-yard line. Big pickup on the play. In on the stop was Martin Edwards at cornerback, number 16. So Cola goes to the air, completes one for 17 yards, Coach.
As you can see, a nice pass against the zone coverage. This is a perfect Mount Union pass. A little turn in by the outside receiver, Rod King. 1st down. Found the seam in the zone.
1st down now for the Mount Union Purple Raiders in their uniforms, looking like the Minnesota Vikings. Lone setback. No play action. Going to the air again over the middle. Intended in there for number 38, Ed Warner, out of the backfield. As we said in the pregame show, Cola will utilize the backs a lot in the passing formation, Rick.
He certainly does, because, again, they use the pass as if it were a sweep or an off-tackle play. They want 4 or 5 yards. They want to move the ball down the field. That time he threw to Warner. I believe Warner would have had a 1st down. He dropped the ball and was injured on the play, by the way.
2nd and 10 now from the Heidelberg 43-yard line. The lone setback is Jay Corlew, the fullback. They send Gershom, the tight end, in motion. The give goes to Corlew. He busts it right up the gut behind Gershom and picks up a good gain on the play. Roosevelt Barrick, the inside linebacker from Miami, Florida. 5'11", 195, a sophomore in on the tackle there. They move the ball across the 40-yard line. Inside the 40, they'll spot it at the 38. There you see the stats on Corlew. 55 carries, 312 yards, averaging nearly 6 yards a carry. Last year, he had an entire career, 194 yards on 17 carries. They work from the pro set this time. Cola to put the ball in the air. Over the middle again. He's got the big tight end, Rich Gershom. Good for a 1st down inside the 25, down near the 22-yard line. In on the stop is Rich Ashton from Nankin, the free safety.
Again, the tight end is open in the seam between the linebackers. Gershom, this is his 10th catch of the year. Goes down about 11 yards, turns to the inside. The ball is there. 1st down, Mount Union.
A pickup of 16 yards on that pass. They work from the pro set again. Rod King, number 10, the wide receiver to the near side. He's in motion now. They send Gershom, the tight end, out wide to the near side. Cola over the middle, intended this time for Rod King. Dropped down there, so it'll be a 2nd down. Rod King, a kid out of Dayton. He's 6-footer, 190 pounds, a junior. He's been bothered in recent days by a calcium deposit in his left thigh, but the guy is a player, and he's out there today.
That time, Mike, Heidelberg had a blitz on. Their inside linebacker, Roosevelt Barrick, blitzed. He was picked up. They were 1-on-1 in the secondary, but it was an incomplete pass.
They marked the ball on the 22-yard line. 2nd and 10 now for the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. The lone setback in there is Corlew. The pitch goes to him. He comes to the near side, across inside the 20, down near the 19-yard line. In on the stop is Roosevelt Barrick, and there is a flag on the play. 6:56 to play. A face mask is the preliminary signal. 6:56 to play here in the 1st quarter. There is no score. Heidelberg College and Mount Union in a series that dates back to 1910. Mount Union's quarterback, Tony Cola, has hit on 2 of 5 passes for 28 yards so far in the early going.
Pass by the defense.
The signal is a face mask. The ball now on a 5-yard penalty is down to the 14-yard line. Cola 2 of 5 for 28, as we say. On just a beautiful afternoon for college football. The sun is shining. The wind's a tad brisk. The air is crisp. The second man through is Ed Warner, the tailback. He gets a couple. This is a talented backfield for Mount Union.
Just a simple off-tackle play by Warner. Went in there, fumbled the football, but Steve Harder, number 79, their right tackle, was sitting right there and laid right on the football.
Here comes the chain gang. They're calling for a measurement. This is going to be awfully close. No score in this ball game yet. Two teams that came into this ball game living and dying by the pass have selected for the most part to try and control the running game. Short by the size of a fist. So Mount Union facing some early strategy here. Third and less than a yard. Third and about the size of a hand. I guess they measure horses with hands. We can do this on the chain gang, right?
I don't want to meet a guy that has a hand that big, Mike.
Maybe my eyesight's going here. They're going with a two tight end formation. Number 82, Dan Warble to the left side. Rich Gershom to the right side. The backs are split. Warner is number 38. And the receiver to the near side is Ken Johnson, number 15. And on the keeper, Cola looks like he got the first down. Cola doesn't run the ball all that much. He likes to dump off to the backs, to Corlew or to Warner, or to those very, very talented wide receivers, Ken Johnson, Rod King, Rick Hurston, and Vince Body. First down for Mount Union, and this is the deepest penetration so far in this scoreless ball game. They move the chains. It is a first down. First and 10 now. The ball is spotted on the 12-yard line. They could conceivably get another first down. We'll see if they need one between here and the goal line. And Heidelberg takes the timeout, it looks like, Coach.
Excuse me, Mike. That's what I was going to say. It looks like that Heidelberg was a bit confused on defense, and rather than risk a touchdown down in there deep, they called a timeout.
Heidelberg and Mount Union are scoreless, and when we come back, we'll see what the Heidelberg Student Princes have done with a strategic timeout. 5:51 to play. First quarter, no score. Mount Union, the Purple Raiders, the ball. First and 10 from the Heidelberg 12-yard line. The lone setback is the fullback. Look at this. Tony Cola running for his life, and he's brought down on the play by number 49, Mike Seeger from Cincinnati. That is the 6th quarterback sack for Seeger so far this year.
Well, that was an excellent call by the defense of Heidelberg. They blitzed from the strong safety position, number 43, Mike Livingston. Watch him coming from the left side of your screen. He's the one that really put the pressure on and forced the quarterback into Mike Seeger. Good defensive call by Heidelberg.
The 6th quarterback sack for Mike Seeger on the year. 6-footer, 180-pound sophomore out of Cincinnati. A loss of 15 yards on the play, so it's second down, 25. The ball on the 27-yard line. Cola's got to get himself out of a jam. He is chased by Mike Summers, number 68 from Tiffin, and it is another sack. 2 sacks in a row, and that is something you don't see happen to Mount Union too often.
Well, one of the things in looking at the film is the fact that Tony Cola does not have real quick feet or too nifty. He's going to sit right in that pocket. There you see the pressure by number 68, Mike Summers. He avoided the block, put the pressure on Cola, and I don't know any quarterbacks that can throw from flat on their back.
Well, the first sack cost him 15 yards. The second sack cost him 13 yards, a loss of 28 on 2 plays. And suddenly, Mount Union is having its troubles here after having moved the ball just about as deep as they could. But there was a flag thrown on the play, and it's against Heidelberg. That has to hurt after 2 fine defensive plays, and no secret about it, Coach. Heidelberg came into this ball game as the underdog, and they took that timeout. Looked like they'd worked some good strategy, but the penalties are hurting them.
Well, it certainly is, but they still, Mount Union still has second and long, and I wouldn't be surprised if Heidelberg would blitz again.
Second down, 20, ball on the 22. The signal on that was illegal use of hands. The lone setback is the fullback, Jay Corlew. Cola to go to the edge on second and long. Looking over the middle, he has Rick Hurston. Hurston is in for a touchdown.
Well, that's a perfect pass against a double zone. They had 2 safeties back there deep. And young Rick Hairston, the young man who runs a 4.240, very, very fast, one of the fastest in Division III, just came down the inside into the middle. Cola picked him out and hit him right at about the 4-yard line, 5-yard line. He went in the end zone for a touchdown.
They moved 56 yards in 9 plays, a 22-yard pass to Rick Hairston. Rich Gershom, the extra point attempt is good. And so, the first scoring in the ball game done by the home team here in Alliance, Ohio, the Purple Raiders of Mount Union College. Hairston, the kid that scored that touchdown, has been bothered by a bad ankle, but he looked good on that play, and we'll be back with more action.
One of the most difficult things on a 2-deep defense is to protect that middle zone down there, about 18 to 20 yards. Hairston goes down, runs a post right at the area right there between the 2 safeties, goes in for a touchdown.
56 yards, 9 plays. They marched the ball. A couple of penalties hurt Heidelberg. Heidelberg also looking good on defense with back-to-back quarterback sacks. So now Heidelberg moves on offense. Doug Boyle set to put the ball to kick off here for Mount Union. 7-0, the Purple Raiders leading the Student Princes. The leather is to the ball. The deep man is number 28, Reggie Johnson, and he'll down it in his own end zone. And a wise choice because it was a boomer kick from Doug Boyle. That touchdown was the 3rd on the year for Rick Hairston. As we had mentioned, Rick, Hairston, King, and Johnson, the 3 wide receivers for Mount Union, missed last week's ball game, all down with injuries, but they wanted to be back in the lineup for today's ball game.
They certainly did, and Hairston is a threat every time he lines up. Remember, a 4.240. Now, that is flying.
Heidelberg in the white uniforms, looking a little bit like the Cincinnati Bengals, will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The full house backfield again. The tailback is number 28, the man that received that kickoff, and he gets the ball. That is Reggie Johnson. Tries to work his sweep to the right side, to the far side, gets a couple. They'll mark the ball at the 22, where it will be 2nd down and 8.
In all the films we looked at, Mike, the thing that impressed us the most about Mount Union's defense was their players do not stay blocked. They get off the blocks and get to the football, and you saw a good picture on that last one. All the players got off their blocks for Mount Union, went to the football, and made the tackle.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. They mark the ball on the 22-yard line, the full house backfield again. Here comes Shane Fulton, the quarterback. Looked like he was going to put the ball in the air, but a big, hard hit by number 77 in the purple, John Heather, a 5'11", 225-pound junior from Navarre, Ohio.
Well, that was a tough thing for Shane Fulton. He rolls out to his left, which is a difficult thing to do for a right-hander anyways, but there was no one open downfield. There was excellent coverage downfield, so he had to eat the ball, and John Heather, number 77, made the tackle.
Well, all in all, it was probably a heady call for the young freshman, Shane Fulton, rather than throwing the ball in the air wild. He chose to eat it. Cost him 6 yards. It's 3rd and 14. The ball on the 16-yard line for Heidelberg now. And he's going to send those wide receivers out to the far side. Looking, intercepted by number 41, Troy Starr. The pass was intended for number 80, Bob Witt, the tight end. Starr. The ball looked like it was underthrown a bit, and Starr is right in on it.
Well, you made the statement that he showed some great intelligence by not throwing the ball on the play before, Mike. That time he should have eaten the ball again because he threw the ball right into Troy Starr's hands, and Troy Starr is a fine linebacker, 6'2", 220 from Cleveland, reacted to the ball. Mount Union has great field position.
So now the Purple Raiders have possession of the ball again, 1st and 10 from the Heidelberg 25-yard line, and it will be up to Heidelberg now with their backs to the wall to keep this game from blowing wide open. They trail in the ball game by a score of 7-0 with 3:12 left to play here in the first quarter. They work from the pro set. Tony Cola, play action fake. Going over the middle on the post pattern. It's complete to number 10, Rod King. King, the 6', 190-pound junior from Dayton, on another fine catch down there. And this is the kid that I said had the bad thigh. These fellas that were hurting last week, it looks like when they didn't suit up a week ago, the rest did them all good as they pick up 22 yards on the play and move the ball down to the 3-yard line.
Boy, did Rod King show great concentration on that football. He was hit. That should have been pass interference if he did not catch the ball.
Great concentration as it bounced off his chest. He still fell to the ground and managed to hang on. Mount Union 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line. Make it 1st and goal. They get down close. Say about a yard to go. 2nd down on a yard. Tony Cola looking back to the bench. Looking to see what Coach Ken Wabel would like to do. Kola has attempted 7 passes on the day. He's completed 4 for 72 yards, so he's going to work on his statistics here today. Before he leaves Mount Union, he'll be the best passer in the school's history. 2nd and a yard for their 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Kola, they work from the power I. They can sweep on this. They give to the 2nd man. That tailback, that is Ed Warner. And a good goal line stand by this Heidelberg defense, Coach.
Well, the Heidelberg defense that time beat the offensive line to the punch. Every one of them, it looked like to me, they just forced the Mount Union offensive line back from the football. Seeger, McCracken, Mackey, Reed, and Summers really got penetration. That's good goal line defense by Heidelberg.
You look at that Heidelberg defensive line. Alan Reed, the defensive tackle, and Gordon McCracken, the other tackle, are both 6'1", 6'3", and weigh 235, 230. They're like big bookends around the nose guard. Matt Mackey, he's only 5'8" and 185-pounder, but he's got a heart as big as gold. Was it Warner? Ed Warner, number 38. The 2nd score of the afternoon, and suddenly it's a 13-0 ball game, Mount Union. Here it is again, Coach.
Well, Ed Warner, for him, this is his 7th touchdown of the year. Just an isolation play. You saw Corlew, number 44, lead him up through there. They didn't have that far to go, and Heidelberg couldn't hold him out. Touchdown, Mount Union.
On for the point after. Rich Gershom, it's up, and it is good. So with 1:26 left to play here in the first quarter, we have a 14-0 ball game. The Mount Union Purple Raiders leading the Heidelberg Student Princes.
Well, Mike, at this situation right now, Coach Phil Morris of Heidelberg is probably mulling over in his mind. Should I go with Joe Borkowski? Should I replace Shane Fulton? Our first plan wasn't successful. What should I do now? And I really think that he will probably go with Borkowski in the not-too-distant future.
Well, Borkowski, as you say, in the last 2 meetings, even though Heidelberg has lost, has thrown 8 touchdown passes the last 2 years. They could conceivably bring Borkowski on in the second half, perhaps as a motivational thing.
Well, they can't wait too long because you can't motivate them when you get too far behind, I'll tell you that.
14-0 now, Mount Union in command. I call that touchdown wrong. It was Ed Warner. My initial call was Jay Corlew. And I should point out that some of the viewers may be plagued at home by the same thing that plagues me. We have light poles or light standards at the 35-yard lines, and occasionally our cameras will pan in front of them. And we have some blind spots on the field for Rick and myself up here in the booth. We've got to kind of peek around behind, and when you get on those goal line stands, it's tough to see. But it was Warner with a touchdown. Doug Boyle set to kick off from the 40-yard line for Mount Union. The ball is in the air, deep to Reggie Johnson. It bounces over his head out of the end zone. He's going to down it right there. Wise choice. So Heidelberg, the Student Princes, will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They trail in the ball game by a score of 14-0 with a minute and a half left to play here in the first quarter.
Mike, you talk about the light posts. Remember, this field was built in 1913, so...
There's a good shot of the light standard right there, splitting the middle of your screen. In fact, there's so many wires between these posts. When we arrived today, we didn't know if the Walenda family was here for a high-wire act or what, but they do get in the way sometimes. You can see on this right side of your screen. Shane Fulton, number 17, remains the freshman quarterback for Heidelberg. He puts the ball on the air on the little square out, complete in there to number 26, Orlando Curry. Curry out of Cleveland. He's 5'8", 150-pound senior. In on the stop was Jeff Witovich.
There you see the scoring drive. 4 plays, 25 yards on that interception by Troy Starr. Time, minute and 46 seconds. But that last time Fulton rolled out, completed pass, but no gain. You can't make yards that way.
2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. As you say, the mark of a good football team is one that can capitalize. Mount Union did that on the Troy Starr interception on the previous possession. Fulton tries to sweep around the left side to the near side of the field, and he barely gets back to the 20-yard line. So the first 2 plays in this offensive drive have fizzled for Heidelberg as they remain deep in their own territory. We'll call it a loss of 1 yard on the play. There you see a nice hit on there by number 86, Rick Kenzierski from Cleveland, 6'1", 210. He's a senior. So it's a 3rd and 11. The ball on the 19-yard line. Fulton rolling to the far side, to the right. He's going to keep Nearly tripped up behind by number 86, Rick Kenzerski, and finally brought down across the 25-yard line. That'll bring up a fourth down. They're going to have to boot the ball again. So another drive fizzles for Heidelberg. As time is just about set to run out here, 25, 24, 23 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. The Purple Raiders of Mount Union with a commanding 14-0 lead. Heidelberg desperately trying to get back in the ball game. Charles Ween with the boot. And Neil Kime is back to take the ball. He fair catches it on his own 36-yard line. 14-0 Mount Union. The Purple Raiders lead Heidelberg. 38 yards on that kick by Charles Ween. There in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, you see the time remaining in the first quarter of play.
Mike, I believe on that punt that Heidelberg could have allowed the clock to run out, and they would then had the wind at their back when they were punting. As it were, they punted against the wind, but I'll say this, he did an excellent job of punting that football.
That's something we're definitely going to have to talk about here, is the advantage of which direction you head on this football field. 9 seconds left to play. First quarter, Jay Corlew gets the give. Number 44, the fullback from Ashtabula, Ohio. He busts his way up near the 38-yard line, where he is hit by number 93, Roosevelt Barrick. That's the end of the first quarter of play, and we will be back to Alliance, Ohio, and Mount Union Stadium. Mike Barry along with Rick Porzano from Alliance, Ohio, and Mount Union Stadium as we begin the second quarter of play. Mount Union leading in the ball game by a score of 14-0. Has it 2nd and 7 from its own 38. The quarterback draw, that's Tony Cola across the 40, out of bounds near the 42-yard line. A gain of 4 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 situation from the 42-yard line.
Well, Tony Cola is not a runner, but everybody's covered downfield. He shows great presence of mind. He turns it up in the opening, gets as much as he can, and gets out of bounds. I'll tell you, when you're a quarterback, you don't want to take that punishment. Good play, Tony Cola.
3rd down, 4 now. The ball on the 42-yard line for the Purple Raiders from Mount Union. They work from the pro set. The backs are split. There's the throw to number 44, Jay Corlew. He's across the 45 and out of bounds down near the 48-yard line. Good enough for a first down as Mount Union continues to dominate this ball game here in the second quarter.
You see the stats. It's all Mount Union. There's no question about it. That turnover, that interception really hurt Heidelberg. Boy, Heidelberg must think they're snake bit, Mike. They had the wind in their faces in the first quarter. Now the wind has changed and it's in Heidelberg's face again.
This is a very interesting stadium, as you say, built back in 1910, and it slopes. If you're on the right of this field, as Mount Union is right now, they are moving actually uphill on a grade of about 4 yards. Jay Corlew, the fullback, carrying on that one up across the 50-yard line. He'll mark the ball at midfield. Well, Coach, you remember this field. You played back here a couple of years ago, eh?
A couple of years ago, 40 years ago, would you believe, I played a bantamweight football game on this field, and I can remember, gosh, when we came to Alliance, I thought it was a 3-day trip.
Mount Union Stadium is also the home field of Alliance High School, where Len Dawson played.
And he was a great one.
The Purple Raiders now with the ball on the midfield, the 50-yard line. 2nd and about 9, and Mount Union, Tony Cola, the quarterback, saw something that he didn't like in the defensive formation. I'm not sure what he didn't like, leading by a score of 14-0. But we'll be back in just a minute to pick up this ball game from Mount Union Stadium in Alliance, Ohio, where it is Parents' Day and a good crowd on hand to enjoy it. We resume play here in the second quarter, 13:43 to play. Mount Union with the ball. They've got it 2nd and 9 now at midfield. In motion is split end. That's Ken Johnson, number 15, to the far side. Cola dropping back, deep drop. Oh, and he is nailed back there. Looked like he may have slipped a little bit on the play, but there was a nice rush put in by Heidelberg. We'll check the number of the young man that's lying on the ground there as he gets up. That looks like Mike Summers, I believe, number 68. Here's a look at it again, Rick.
The two outside linebackers coming from the outside, Summers and Seeger. Watch them. They put the pressure on, and there's enough pressure from the middle that he couldn't come up and scramble up the middle. Good pass rush by Heidelberg. 3rd and long.
3rd and long it is. They've got to move the ball all the way down to the 41-yard line of Heidelberg. Mount Union's rushing game has really not been too good. They've tried it 14 times and gained a yard so far this afternoon. All of the offense has been generated by Cola's arm, and we're going to see it again right here. The deep drop. There's the flare, and the ball was totally underthrown. You don't see Tony Cola do that too often. It was intended for the fullback, Jay Corlew, out there in the flat, and it was just simply underthrown.
It was underthrown, and it was pretty close to being a lateral. In those situations, whether it is or isn't, if you're Heidelberg, you want to jump on that football because sometimes the official doesn't see it as a forward pass.
Rich Gershom now forced to do the punting. He's averaging about 35, nearly 36 yards a kick for Mount Union. Number 84, Ritzler, is deep now for Heidelberg, and he gets off a booming kick. Fair catch signaled there by Ritzler. Looked like he had a lot of room to operate there, Coach, but he decided to call for a fair catch. Rich Gershom, number 90, trotting off to the side of the field. He's from Akron, second in scoring on the team, a 40-yard kick, so that's better than his 36-yard average. And Heidelberg will take over the ball, first and 10, inside their own 20. They mark the ball at the 18-yard line. And if you're Coach Phil Morse right now, Rick, what's going through your mind?
Well, what you want to do is you've got to establish something. They came out here figuring they could roll out against Mount Union, but they haven't been successful at that. You got to go to plan B.
Heidelberg first and 10, the ball at the 18-yard line. Play action fake, rolling to the near side. Fulton on a big rush over the middle, and it's complete to number 82, Ray Thompson. And he gets the ball down near the 30-yard line, but there is a flag thrown on the play. In on the hit, the left inside linebacker, number 41, Troy Starr, and number 40, the outside linebacker, Mike Kieberbrand. But there is a flag on the play, and again, it looks like it's going to go against Heidelberg.
Well, when it rains, it pours, and what happened that time, it was a nice bootleg action, a good play call. It discombobulated the linebackers for Mount Union. It allowed number 82, Ray Thompson, to come across on a crossing pattern, but penalty against Heidelberg.
Ray Thompson is a big play man for
We have an ineligible receiver downfield, offense. Loss it down, second down.
One of those mental mistakes, an ineligible receiver downfield, the kind that gives gray hairs to a coach like Phil Morse. Morse in his third year here at Heidelberg with a record of 9 wins, 13 losses, trying to get back to some tradition at this school.
Well, it takes time, and I'll tell you, Phil Morse is doing an excellent job at Heidelberg.
12:28 to play, second quarter. Mount Union leading in the ball game, 14-0. It's a second down and 15 for Heidelberg. The ball on their own 16-yard line. Fulton on a big rush, and he is dropped there by number 40, Mike Heberbrand. Troy Starr also, boy, that kid's got a nose for the ball. It seems like number 41, Troy Starr, the man who made the interception in the first quarter that led to that second score, always has his nose around the ball as well. So Heidelberg now facing fourth down and a kicking situation down back in their own end zone.
Well, they just can't seem to get outside. That time you see the force by number 40 coming from the inside, but when Shane Fulton went to roll out to his left, he was pulled up right now by number 27, Bob Fry, and he had no place to go. Big loss, fourth down.
Heidelberg has just called a timeout. The scoreboard signals third down, but there was a loss of down on that last play, so it seems to me that it's also fourth down in a kicking situation. Those are the totals. Unhappy for Heidelberg right now. We'll be back to see what happens.
Still says third down, but I thought that there was a loss of down. That was a mistake. It's third down, Heidelberg.
They may have gotten a free down in there because there was certainly the loss on the ineligible receiver downfield, so they're going to call it third and 18, the ball on the 10-yard line. There's the fullback, number 34, Kent Dunn. Goes off right tackle, tries to move outside, gets himself about 4 yards. So now it's going to be fourth down in a kicking situation for Heidelberg. And it's tough when you have that ball so deep in your own territory. As we take a look here at the coach from Heidelberg, Philip Morse.
Well, Philip Morse, I'll tell you, I've known him when he was at Xavier University, and an excellent football coach. Did a good job at Kenyon and now at Heidelberg.
Charles Ween to kick from his own 5-yard line sends Neil Kime, and he calls for a fair catch back at his own 48-yard line. These fellas are calling for that fair catch with nobody near them within 10 yards. A boot of 38 yards on the play. 11:06 remaining to play in the first half here. The rushing yardage for Heidelberg, only 17 on the ground, and Mount Union, who came into this ball game as the favorite, having won the last 5 times these teams have played, only 1 yard rushing in something like 14 plays, Rick.
But I'll tell you, statistics are for producers and directors. Coaches want to see what that scoreboard, and it's 14-0 Mount Union.
And Mount Union goes to work now. They send Rick Hairston, the wide receiver, in motion. There's the pitch, the power switch to the right side, to the far side. He's across the 50. He's going to go all the way. Rick Hairston down near the 20-yard line, and a nice cutback in there by number 46, Rich Murphy. Rich Murphy, the quarterback, stopped what looked like a sure touchdown. This kid Hairston is one of the fastest players on the team. And watch the move here on the sweep to the far side.
Well, that was an interesting formation. They had nobody in the backfield. They brought Hairston in motion. They power sweeped it to the right side. And you can see he does a good job. I thought he was going to go all the way, but they closed on him, and it's a first down for Mount Union, a 32-yard gain.
A nice sliding tackle there by Rich Murphy. The ball now at the 20-yard line of Heidelberg. There's the misdirection counterplay, and they get it down near the 20. And on the ball carrier was Ed Warrener. Alan Reed, the defensive tackle from McMurray, Pennsylvania, in on the stop. You know, so many times you're talking about schools like Ohio State and Michigan and Notre Dame, and this year, of course, everybody's talking about Nebraska, Texas, Oklahoma. These kids down here in Division III, Coach, play without scholarships, and yet they take it very, very seriously.
Well, as I said yesterday, they still play on a 100-yard field. This game is as important as any game Nebraska or Ohio State plays, and that's the way it should be.
Mount Union, 2nd and 10 now. From the 20-yard line, complete to the tight end, Rich Gershom, on the little flare to the outside. Working from the pro set with the back split on this formation, and they like to go to the big tight end, Rich Gershom. He's the second leading receiver on the team.
Well, Gershom's going to come from the left side of your screen on a crossing pattern, a play-action fake. Cola stands in there real strong. You'll see Gershom come across right there. Good concentration on the ball. Turns the ball upfield, punishes that tackler a little bit. It's now 3rd down and 2.
Tony Cola, 10 attempts on the afternoon, 6 completions for 87 yards. He's got a 3rd and 2 from the 12-yard line. He's going to put it up again. Oh, look at that big hand by number 92, Gordon McCracken from Homestead, Florida. 6'3", 230-pound freshman, showing an awful lot of poise and a nose for the ball. He got a big bare paw up here, Rick.
Well, he certainly did. And Cola wanted to go to Jay Corlo, number 44 in the flat. You see him wide open, but as you point out, number 92, Gordon McCracken, puts that big ham up, knocks it down. It's a 4th down play, and Mount Union is going for a field goal.
Doug Boyle, number 95. He'll be kicking from the 19-yard line, so we'll call it a 29-yard attempt. The ball is up. It's a line drive, and it is good. He put that ball through like a 2-iron. And this is a team that doesn't kick field goals too often. Normally, they don't need to. 17-0. Mount Union, the Purple Raiders, leading the student princes of Heidelberg with 9:18 left to play here in the second quarter. Mike Barry, along with former coach of the Naval Academy and of the Detroit Lions, Rick Forzano. And, Coach, we're seeing a good brand of football, I think, by this Mount Union team. A team that has had themselves in trouble a couple of times and still able to put 17 points on the board.
Well, they certainly have, but I wouldn't count Heidelberg out yet. Heidelberg just hasn't seemed to be able to get things together. I feel that it isn't out. They aren't out of the woods yet when I talk about Mount Union. It's only 17-0, but Heidelberg can come back.
ABC Sports Beat with Howard Cosell next at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central. Paul Brown, Woody Hayes, Weed Eubank, Eric Arsegian, Bo Schembechler. Only son of the coaching greats, produced by Miami of Ohio. The cradle of coaches. The story at ABC Sports Beat right after NCAA college football. Don't forget ABC's Wide World of Sports also today. That'll follow Howard Cosell Sports Beat at 5 Eastern and 4 Central. Philip Morse, 3 years at Heidelberg. This is his 3rd year. He has won 9. He has lost 13. Trying to instill some tradition and make these kids play with some flair and fun and still do the most important thing of all. That's play to win.
Well, the tradition Phil Morris wants to bring back to Heidelberg was created by Paul Horniman, who was one of the great coaches of all time, in my opinion, had 102 victories and 18 losses and 4 ties at Heidelberg. Paul was a great football coach.
Doug Boyle puts the boot to the football for Mount Union, and deep to receive is number 82, Ray Thompson, takes it his own 2-yard line. He's across the 15 up to the 20, across the 20-yard line. That's the first time we've seen Ray Thompson in on a return. Prior to that, Reggie Johnson was getting the call as the deep man. 20-yard return there. They marked the ball at the 22-yard line, where Heidelberg will take it over first and 10, trailing in the ball game by a score of 17-0. Ken Wavell, 22 years, 104 wins, 87 losses, couple of ties.
Mike, Joe Borkowski is now in the ball game and playing quarterback for Heidelberg.
You call it right, Coach. They couldn't wait for the second half. They had to get him in there, trailing 17-0. Borkowski, the previous starting quarterback until earlier in this ball game, to give on the play to number 34, Kent Dunn, the fullback from Decatur, Georgia. Well, they had to go to Borkowski. Borkowski, I think, in this series the last 2 years, has had pretty good games against Mount Union. He's thrown 8 touchdown passes, but he's had a little trouble. His completion rate under 40%.
Well, they really like to go for the bomb a lot. They're not a big controlled passing team, Mike.
Second down 7 now. The ball marked at the 26-yard line. Borkowski back. Deep drop, looking long, intended and completed for number 80. Man, number 23 couldn't get him, and it is a touchdown. 74 yards, and Joe Borkowski didn't waste any time getting his starting job back.
Well, Joe decided, he said, hey, I better do something right now, and he sure did it in a hurry. He drilled the ball right on the money to Chuck Ritzler. They were in a... He just put the ball right there on the money. Oh, this is an excellent throw. He splits the seam.
On their little Muhammad Ali shot. So we've got 20. Look to roll. Comes back on here. Quarter. Welcome. Ohio, Mike Derry along with Rick Forzano. Heidelberg trailing by a score of 17-7. We are having some video difficulties, we understand, with the ball game and with our telecast right now. In the meantime, we'll play radio announcer and bring you the audio portion. We apologize as Heidelberg kicks off. Mount Union, the short man, up across the 35-yard line, still on his feet, and finally run out of bounds down near the 45-yard line. Looked like one of the big linemen, one of the short men, took that kick, and Mount Union will begin the ball game, first and 10 from their own 37-yard line is where they mark the ball. Well, up in the atmosphere, we understand we have some sun spots which are affecting our satellite picture. And for you, those of you sitting at home watching in your living room, I think you can't see us very well. We seem to be losing our picture. We hope you can follow us here in the audio portion. 8-12 left to play in the first half. Tony Cola, number 18, back to pass for Mount Union. It's complete to number 15, the wide receiver, Ken Johnson, across midfield, down to the 40-yard line at Heidelberg, where it will be a first and 10 situation for Mount Union, leading in the ball game by a score of 17-7. So that time wants to throw. Take a 7-step drop, set up, throw the ball downfield on that little turn in, first down Mount Union. We have our picture back right now, and the man in the middle of your screen is number 18, Tony Kohler, the quarterback. Looked like a quarterback draw there because he didn't have anything open. That was not a planned play. He was merely scrambling up the gut as a flag goes down on the play. Kohler has passed for 101 yards in the ball game. It's a holding preliminary signal. Kohler has thrown 12 times, completed 7 for 101 yards, and clearly, as we mentioned in the pregame, Coach, they're going to have to live and die by the pass, it looks like.
Well, that's Mount Union's way to play the ball game, but in this series of downs right now, if Heidelberg can create some losses or create a turnover in here, the momentum that you hear so much about can change right now on this ball game. Now, this is the first penalty against Mount Union in this ball game, so you want to see now it's a long yardage situation. Well, Heidelberg blitz, holding penalty.
Vince Body checks into the ball game now for the Mount Union offense. He'll be a flanker. Rick Harrison leaves the ball game. He's got that tender ankle. Mount Union now, first and 22, the ball on the 48-yard line. There's the little trapper, the counter play to the near side. Jay Corlew, the ball carrier, the fullback from Ashtabula, Ohio. just gets a couple, and they're going to have to come up with a big play now. Shane Jacoby, number 94 from Melmore, a freshman on Heidelberg, and on the play. This Heidelberg team trailing in the ball game 17-7 is a very young team. Coach, we mentioned earlier that they've got a lot of players, 25 or so from Miami, but they've also got a lot of underclassmen, especially on defense.
They only start one senior on defense, and I think they have 6 sophomores, and the rest are juniors.
2nd and 21, the ball on the 49-yard line of Mount Union. Cola over the middle, incomplete. The pass intended for Ed Warner, number 38 from Dover, Ohio. From our vantage point, it looked like that pass was pretty much on the money there. It looked like he had to go high in the air, but could have got it. Perhaps from our vantage point, the ball was thrown behind him a little bit. Rich Murphy, the quarterback, in on the defense on that play.
The thing that Heidelberg is able to do right now, they're putting a little bit more pressure on Coleman. He's have to throw that ball when he doesn't want to, Mike, and that's an advantage to Heidelberg. Now they've come up 3rd down and long. Now, every time they've tried to go to coverage, Cola's been able to complete. Let's see if they blitz, but they're going to coverage again.
And Cola to put the ball in the air. And it's complete. And a circus acrobatic arabesque catch by Rod King, the kid out of Dayton, 6-footer, 190-pound junior. A great catch, but there is holding on the play. There's the preliminary signal. You called it right, and that's going to kill you. Well, many times you see a fine pass play, and then the reason is there was holding to protect the quarterback, but you can't take away the fine grab on that play by young Rod King, the junior.
Oh, he showed great adjustment to the ball. The ball was thrown behind him.
Offense.
But it goes for naught.
We're back to 3rd down. They've got 3rd down and about half a century to go here. 36 yards, they say, for the first down. They'll bring in quite a few center fielders on defense for Heidelberg. 6:42 and the clock is running here in the 2nd quarter. 17-7 the score. Mount Union with the ball and with the lead. They've got their big receivers in there now. Ken Johnson to the far side. Rick Hairston to the near side. The flag is on the play. And it looks like the nose guard, Matt Mackey, may have jumped a little bit early. We'll await the call here. It is. It's encroachment on the part of the defense. Matt Mackey, the nose guard, number 55 from Cincinnati. You'll watch it again. There you see him in the middle of your screen, jump early on the play. Of course, he's the kid we talked about with a heart as big as gold. He's only a 5'8" kid, but he really comes to play.
Well, at 5'8" and playing nose guard, he better have a big heart, I'll tell you.
3rd down and 31. The ball on the 38-yard line of Mount Union. 6:18 to play. Hairston to the near side. The play action. Cola to go to the air. Looking for Hairston in heavy traffic. Almost intercepted. Almost picked off there by number 48 for the Heidelberg defense. Dave Smith from Toledo.
Dave Smith, number 48, made a great reaction to this ball. It was a play action fake. Watch at the left bottom of your screen. Number 48, Smith, is going to read the eyes of Tony Cola, move right to the inside, and almost have an interception. Good play by the defense, and Dave Smith is substituting in there for Rich Ashton.
It looked like it was too tough to read the eyes of Cola. He was looking Hairston all the way and threw into heavy traffic. Triple coverage. Now on the run back, Martin Edwards with the ball. He takes the kick from Gershom, returns it to the 35-yard line. 32 yards on the kick. So with 6:01 left to play here in the first half from Alliance, Ohio, Mike Barry and Rick Frisano bringing you Mount Union and Heidelberg College. Heidelberg with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line, trailing in the ball game by a score of 17-7. Coach, this is pretty good field position for them.
It's excellent field position. I think it's the best they've had today where they've started.
And the pitch goes to the big fullback, Kent Dunn. He's up 40-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. In on the stop, Rick Kanzerski from Cleveland, 6'1", 210, a senior.
Mike, it looks like from up here that touchdown pass by Borkowski is just giving Heidelberg a little bit more confidence. Their linemen seem to be coming off the football a little bit more. They seem to have a little bit more aggressiveness to them, speaking of Heidelberg.
Well, and the coach told us before the game that to win this thing, they were going to have to run the football. And even though they trail by 10 here in the 2nd quarter, they're not going to the pass right away. They ran on 1st down, which is crucial to them. Now they sweep to the other side with Kent Dunn, number 34, the ball carrier. And gain will call it no gain at all on the play. Troy Starr from Cleveland, the left inside linebacker, in on the stop. So they try student body left, student body right, and they are right back where they started from. It'll bring up a third down at about 6 from the 39-yard line.
Again, if you're a type of football team like Heidelberg, you go for the bomb all the time. They can't do it in this situation. They want to think possession.
Well, they did it last time. Shane Fulton, the freshman from Hialeah, Florida, got his first start in the ball game because Borkowski had been having an off time, under 40% on his completions. He came into the ball game, immediately threw a touchdown on the second play to Chuck Ritzler, and that brings us to a 17-7 score with 4:34 left to play as Heidelberg takes a timeout. We'll be back here at Mount Union Stadium and sort this all out for you in just a minute. Stay with me. Heidelberg with the ball, 3rd and 6. The ball on their own 39-yard line. They run from the I formation. Orlando Curry goes in motion. The pitch to Kent Dunn, the fullback, and he's going to throw the football. He puts it up deep, intended for number 82, Ray Thompson, and Thompson has the football and a touchdown, and Heidelberg is back in the ball game. Touchdown, Heidelberg and Ray Thompson, a play that covered 61 yards.
That is what is called a possession pass. All the way for a touchdown. Their coach, Phil Morris of Heidelberg, told me last night, he said, you know, this guy Kent Dunn can throw the ball 80 yards in the air, and he wasn't kidding. He drilled that ball for a touchdown.
A 61-yard pass play, 17-13 the score. Steve Uhas on to attempt the extra point. And look at this, they're going to run it in for 2, but there's a fumble. Well, that's the kind of formation you don't see too often. An exciting play as they try to run it for 2 on the quick pitch. Had no intention of kicking the football, but there was a fumble and a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is here. The score on the touchdown was 17-13. The penalty is against Heidelberg. There is no extra point, and that's where we stand right now with 4:24 left to play in the first half and a 17-13 ball game.
Well, if you're Mount Union, you're saying, well, at least Borkowski didn't throw the touchdown pass against us, because now in 3 games, Borkowski is thrown for 9 TDs. But Kent Dunn, their fine fullback, number 34, the young man from Decatur, Georgia, just drilled him and put him right on the ball game. Now you watch this. It's a pitch. Kent Dunn, and remember, he's got a tough time. He's rushed right here, and he's got to change up. He's got to reload right there from getting pressure. He keeps his poise and then puts it downfield for 6 points.
Showed an awful lot of poise there. He may be the starting quarterback in the second half. 4:24 left to play here in the first half.
And give that young man credit.
13. Ray Thompson, number 82. This guy is something. Averaging 31 yards a catch. He's the big play man from Miami, Florida for Heidelberg. Thompson has caught 2 on the day for 74 yards. Definitely the big play man. Again, the up man takes it for Mount Union and moves the ball up near the 30-yard line. They'll finally mark it now at the 80, at the 34. Jeff Mayfield with the return. So suddenly Mount Union, who was leading this ball game by a score of 17-0, says, hey, wait a minute. We got ourselves a football game.
Well, this is college football, and this is the way it's supposed to be played. And these are lessons you learn. Even though you're down 17-0 in life, you can come back.
4:18 left to play. 1st and 10 now. The ball on the 34-yard line. Cola to put it up. Intended on the soft pitch right over the middle to Ed Warner, the tailback. Incomplete on the play. A dangerous play to throw in heavy traffic over the middle, Rick.
Well, actually, though, this is part of their game plan. We've seen them on film. They like to throw to their backs coming just across the middle in front of the linebackers. That time the ball was thrown to Warner. It was thrown a little bit high, almost intercepted, but now it's 2nd and 10 for Mount Union.
There's a look at the scoring drive for the Student Princes. 3 plays, 65 yards. Didn't take them too long, just a minute and a half. Cola on 2nd down to put it in the air again, intended for number 22, Rick Hairston. Hairston was wide open, but the ball was overthrown.
You remember we said something about Phil Morris in Heidelberg. He's got to regroup. He's got to go to plan B. Well, now the same thing. The shoe's on the other foot with Mount Union. They've got to sit down, and Ken Wabel's got to say, hey, wait a minute, guys. We're ahead. Let's go back to our regular game plan. Let's get this thing back under control.
Mount Union came into the ballgame averaging 28 points per game with a stingy defense, tops in the Ohio Athletic Conference, allowing only 9 yards a game. Cola on third down has number 15, Kenny Johnson, over the middle. He's still on his feet across the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Kenny Johnson and Mount Union. A play covering 66 yards.
Well, Mike, that is plan B for Mount Union. Get the ball to Ken Johnson. I'll tell you, Cola can really set up strong, but you got to give credit to Ken Johnson. He is drilled after he catches the ball, but watch him come off. He's not going to give up. I think maybe he's as surprised as anybody. He's running out there in front. Only one guy is chasing him, and he says, hey, baby, I'm going in for 6.
Number 48, Dave Smith, the defender for Heidelberg, that got a hand on him. But then let him spin away as Rich Kersham adds the extra point. And so with 3:56 left to play here, second quarter, 24 for Mount Union, 13 for Heidelberg. And we said in the opening, these are two teams who like to put points on the board, so stand by with your extra batteries for the scoreboard. Nothing's going like a totalizator down there. 24-13, and we're only in the second quarter.
Well, they've had high-scoring games the last 2 years, and this is no exception. And I might say this, Mike, we talked about it last night. People love football. You ought to come to some of these so-called Division III or small college football games if you really want to see football played and excitement and be around a great student body. This has been a great 2 days for us.
Oh, it certainly has. The hospitality of the people from both Heidelberg and here in Alliance, Ohio, Mount Union College has been just superb. I mean, there are banners all over town welcoming ABC, our crew, our director Joel Feld, our producer, our director, Bob Lanning, and I'll tell you, it's been some 2 days down here. These people really rolled out the red carpet. They're happy that ABC is here to televise the game, and we're happy to be here. It's just a beautiful day, too.
It is. And remember, we got the greatest camera crew with ABC right here.
Here we go with 3:56 left to play. Heidelberg and Ray Thompson, and he lets it go over his head and out of the end zone. Kind of an interesting little move there. It looked like he was coming up to catch the ball, and let it sail over his head.
I think what happened, Mike, excuse me, I think the wind caught that ball. He misjudged it a little bit, and he showed again the intelligence. I think if he'd have gone after it, he might have fumbled it and then attempt to run it out. This way they got the ball on the 20.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like a Bruce Sutter knuckle slurve or something there, I'll tell you. Kind of doing a little wobble throughout the air. 24-13 is our score. First and 10, the ball on their own 20-yard line for Heidelberg in the white uniforms. Moving across your screen from left to right. Joe Borkowski, the quarterback. Plenty of time, good protection. A nice high pass intended for Chuck Ritzler. Lofted out of bounds. Mark Rod, the safety, in on the defense on that play.
But it looked like that Borkowski saw that number 84, Chuck Ritzler, was covered, and he just threw that ball out of bounds. I think he wanted to go to his tight end, Cleet Richardson, but Richardson couldn't get off of that linebacker and get himself open.
Ritzler was running the same pattern he did when Borkowski hit him on that touchdown earlier in the ball game, perhaps a couple of further yards downfield, bringing up a 2nd and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Only one setback in the backfield. Number 32, Scott Urban. He's got the football, sweeping to the near side up across the 25-yard line. Mike Heberbrand from North.
Now, people might say, why would someone run a play like that, 2nd down and long, and flip the ball to your fullback, Scott Urban? I think that was an excellent call. You don't want to get greedy in this game of football. They picked up 5 yards. They now come up 3rd and 5. They've still got a chance to maintain possession.
It's got to be one of the most difficult things. You start the ball game 0-0, and then all of a sudden you fall behind, and to be patient and await your time and use the clock has got to be one of the toughest things in football.
Certainly is.
3rd and 5, the ball from the 25-yard line. Borkowski staying in the pocket, but he is dropped in there. Number 86, Rick Penserski, 6'1", 210, a senior out of Cleveland, Ohio, in on the quarterback sack. And again, any kind of a drive for Heidelberg fizzles on this play. It's 4th down and long, and they will kick. Charles Ween, number 20, in to do the punting. Neil Kime, number 26, is deep.
Watch the top of your screen. The sack there by number 86, Kenzierski.
A good play. Kime taking the ball on a punt of 34 yards off the talented toe of Charles Wing. So Mount Union will have the ball. They will have excellent field position, and they also right now have the lead by a score of 24-13. 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half from Mount Union Stadium in Alliance, Ohio. My name's Mike Barry. Rick Forzano, former head coach at the Naval Academy and the Detroit Lions alongside, to enjoy all the pageantry and color of college football as you see the Purple Raiders scoring drive. Took them only 3 plays in a minute and a half on that 66-yard pass to Ken Johnson. Cola, deep drop, looking over the middle, going to Johnson again. He figures if he can hit this guy for 66 yards for a touchdown, he may as well run the same route right over the middle again. Rich Murphy in on the stop for Heidelberg.
Every time Heidelberg is in the zone coverage, they're just playing back and covering zones. Cola's been able to find the seam again. Number 15 it is, Ken Johnson, goes up in the air and gets the football. He's in between the corner and the safety and the linebacker, right in the seam. First down, but there's a holding penalty against Mount Union.
The officials will move the ball back to the 39-yard line.
We have holding. Offense.
Mike, I believe you're going to have to see that Heidelberg is going to have to blitz a little bit more to get to Cola and to make him throw the ball sooner than he wants to.
Mount Union has been penalized in the ball game 3 times. It's cost them 38 yards, so now they've got a 1st and 20 situation. The ball on their own 39-yard line. They run from the I formation, and Cola's going to put it up. He's going to sweep to the right side. He's across down near the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 38. Gene Smith from Monroeville, a defensive tackle, on good pursuit to run him out of bounds on the far side of the field.
That time Heidelberg had a blitz on, and I'm going to give credit to the Heidelberg secondary. Cola got outside, but there was no one open downfield, so he had to eat the ball. Good defensive call, Heidelberg.
He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. It's marked on the 39-yard line, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 20 now. 2nd and 20, my mistake. Cola so far in the ball game has thrown 17 times, hit on 8 of those for 167 yards and a whole lot of touchdowns. In the air again, that same pattern.
And there'll be a flag.
Nailed for pass interference, a little bit overeager, reaching over the shoulder of number 22, Rick Hairston.
Boy, there was no question about the pass interference by Murphy. You watch him at the bottom of your screen, number 46. He just comes over the top of Hairston.
Automatic 1st down.
Cola likes this kid Hairston, and he is a speedster. They tell me, Rick, he's the fastest guy on the team.
He's the fastest guy in Division III, from what I understand, runs a 4.240. I've just never had anybody that fast, really. Never had a clock that could time that.
When I played, he used to time me with a count.
I believe that.
Minute 59 left to play. 24-13, Mount Union has the lead. They've got the football. 1st and 10 now from the 45-yard line. And Cola is nailed behind the line by who else? Mike Seeger, number 49 from Cincinnati. A 6-footer, 180-pound sophomore. He had a cornerback sack in the 1st quarter. He's got one now, and that is 7 on the year.
Again, a blitz from the linebackers. They put the pressure on. Nobody picked up Seeger. He just kept on coming. Again, as you point out, he's had 2 sacks today, and the only time it looks like to me that Heidelberg can pressure him is if they blitz with their linebackers.
That's right, the 2 outside fellows named Mike Summers and Mike Seeger. Seeger for his 2nd quarterback sack. And now going to number 44, Corlew, and he gets the ball up near midfield. They'll mark that at the 50. Rich Ashton from Nankin, who has 4 interceptions so far on the season for Heidelberg, in on the stop. And another flag down on the play. Well, we've seen plenty of laundry, and more so, it looks like a clipping call, the preliminary signal here, with 1:13 to play. The 1st quarter, there wasn't very much action from the officials at all, but so far here in the 2nd quarter, things have slowed down a bit.
Well, they're the leading ground gainer right now. They've just been moving up and down that field. There's Ken Wabel, 104 victories. Boy, that's a lot. Ken and I go back a long way, by the way. We got our master's degree at Kent State, which proves anybody can get a master's degree, right?
You go back a long ways with a lot of fellas. Ken told me last night he spent more time in the classroom than you did. The ball is marked at the 35-yard line of Mount Union. They'll have it second down. And let's count it out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I've got to take my shoes off to count this one out. Down to the 35-yard line the other way. They've got a long ways to go. Second and 30 from the 35. Cola, we've seen his arm. We've seen him throw, and he's going to do it. No, they call the draw play to number 38, Ed Warner. Kind of a heady, gutsy call, even though they have a long way to go. He moves the ball down near the 48-yard line where Mike Seeger made the hit.
Well, again, we talked about patience. That's a good call. They've been getting pressure on Kohler. They run the lead draw up through there. Now they come up with third down and about 17 or 18, but they've got a chance now to pick a first down up on this play.
Warner has carried the ball now 7 times. He's picked up 21 yards. The clock is moving. 20 seconds to play before halftime. Mount Union with the ball, leading by a score of 24-13 as Kohler goes to the air. He's going for it all. He's looking for Rick Hairston, and Hairston can't hang on. It looked like Hairston might have done a stutter step down there near the goal line, and the ball started to drift away from him, forcing him to dive. It went off the end of his fingertips.
Well, number one, the wind was behind Kohler when he threw that football. But I must tell you, the defensive backs of Heidelberg have to be surprised to find Hairston behind him. That's how fast he can run. I think he's one of these young men that he runs as fast as he has to. If you want a 4-2, he'll run a 4-2. You want a 4 flat, he could probably do that.
The clock is stopped. 10 seconds to play. 24-13 the score. Mount Union in charge of the first half right now. It's fourth down. Rich Gershom, number 90, on to do the kicking. Gets a deep kick, and they're not even going to try for the return. And the ball is down near the 8-yard line. So the clock stops with just 2 seconds to play right now. Rich Gershom, number 90. Kind of an interesting guy. He is the tight end for Mount Union. Catches an awful lot of passes over the middle. They have a tendency to go that way. He also works on kickoffs. He also works on some of the punts and the place kicks. But Doug Boyle is in there as well. And what really determines it, not so much as who does well in practice, is whether or not Gershom can change shoes in time to get in there without the delay of game penalty from his tight end spot. Burkowski to put the ball in the air on the last play of the first half, going deep, going for it all, and it's intercepted by Neil Kahn, number 26, as time runs out here in the first half of play.
But you know, you have to give Heidelberg credit. You know, they weren't going to just sit back there. They want to get back in this football game, but there is a penalty on the play.
It was an interesting call. They didn't make any attempt to return the ball on the kick on the punt, but then they went for it all on that play. The flag was thrown. The call was illegal procedure, and so that is indeed the end of the first half of play from Mount Union Stadium. 24-13 the score. We'll be back with today's halftime activities after this message about an upcoming show on ABC and a word from our local. Welcome to Stadium, Alliance, Ohio, where it is halftime. And the Purple Raiders of Mount Union College enjoying a 24-13 lead over the Heidelberg Student Princes. This is Mike Barry along with Rick Forzano. Coach, we saw a pretty interesting first half there. Both teams, as we say, trying to get that ground game going, stymied for the most part, going to the air.
Well, it looks like they just run just to say, well, every once in a while we better run. We can't throw every down, but both of them can throw well, and it's still a good football game.
That's the way the scoring went in the first quarter. Mount Union at 4:33. Rick Hairston, a 22-yard pass from Tony Cola. Gershom's kick was good. That made the score 7-0. Then Mount Union again, still in the first quarter. Ed Warner, the tailback, a 1-yard run. The kick was good. It was 14-0. Then at 9:18 of the second period, Mount Union, Doug Boyle, a 29-yard field goal, and suddenly it looked like a rout as the Purple Raiders went up by a score of 17-0. Then Heidelberg came back at 8:20 of the second quarter. Chuck Ritzler took a 74-yard bomb from Joe Borkowski, and it was good as Steve Uhas's kick was in there to make it a 17-7 ball game. Borkowski coming in to replace Shane Fulton, who had started the ball game for the first time this year. Then Heidelberg, wasting no time, made it a 17-13 ball game. when Ray Thompson took a 61-yard pass from the fullback. Kent Dunn, the try for two failed. And then Mount Union with a final scoring play of the first half. Ken Johnson, 66-yard beauty from Cola. Gersham's kick was good. And that brings us to our halftime score of 24-13. It's Parents' Day here at Mount Union Stadium. And we'll be back in just a moment to listen to the Mount Marchers. Some good halftime action. Mike Barry and Rick Forzano back live at Mount Union Stadium in Alliance, Ohio. Our halftime score, Mount Union enjoying a 24-13 lead. Settle back. It's Parents' Day here. And let's give a listen to the Mount Marchers under the direction of Carl Candell. Right on. You're enjoying the music of the Mount Marchers under the direction of Carl Candell, and this is 23rd year. The field commander is Mike Exley. He's a sophomore from New Philadelphia, Ohio. Our halftime score, 24-13 Mount Union. We'll have scores of other games. Welcome back to Mount Union Stadium, Alliance, Ohio. My name is Mike Barry, along with Rick Forzano, the former head coach at the Naval Academy and with the Detroit Lions, as we sit back and enjoy the Mount Marchers here at halftime. The hometown team, the Purple Raiders of Mount Union, enjoying a 24-13 lead over the Student Princes from Heidelberg College. Other scores around the nation on this college football Saturday afternoon. Number 1, Nebraska, scoreless with Oklahoma State. They are playing in the first quarter. Nebraska, of course, 5-0 on the year. 8th-ranked Oklahoma and 2nd-ranked Texas. One of the best ball games of the afternoon. Also scoreless in the first quarter of play. Texas 3-0 on the year. 3rd-ranked Alabama and Penn State will play later on tonight. Other scores around the country. North Carolina and Wake Forest tied 10-10 at halftime. Wake Forest playing a good ball game there against Dick Crum and company. West Virginia, which has been setting the world on fire the last couple of weeks, takes a week off to rest. They are ranked number 5 in our poll. 6th-ranked Ohio State leading Purdue 12-7 at halftime. Florida ranked 9th in the country ahead of Vanderbilt 13-3 at halftime. Pittsburgh and Florida State, look at this score. Florida State 13-3 over Pitt at the half. Boston College with Doug Flutie and company really rolling up the score on Yale. It's only halftime and they lead by 33. Air Force shooting down Navy at the half, 24-10. Rutgers trailing Army 7-3. They're playing in the second quarter. William and Mary trailing Dartmouth 10-0 at halftime. Harvard and Cornell. Cornell with a field goal to lead at 3-0 at the half. Brown out in front of Pennsylvania by a field goal at halftime. Other scores, Columbia leading Princeton 20-7 in the Ivy League at halftime. Colgate 15, Holy Cross 7 at the half. And rounding out the halftime scoreboard, Bucknell in New Hampshire in a 14-14 halftime tie. And to remind you, top-ranked Nebraska and Oklahoma State are scoreless. They are playing in the first quarter. Here in Mount Union, Alliance, Ohio, Mount Union leading Heidelberg by a score of 24-13. 5 minutes left in the halftime. Rick Forzano and I will talk about the first half of play coming up after this.
Preparing young people for life and career has been the goal of Heidelberg College since its founding in 1850. Heidelberg's success is indicated by a His educational program allows students to develop a close rapport with its faculty. Heidelberg offers studies in 27 major areas, including computer science, business administration, biology, music, education, and communications.
Mount Union College has held a strong position in the higher education community for over a century and a third. The liberal arts focus is viewed not only as disciplines to be studied, but also as a perspective on the educational experience. This perspective allows the college to provide its students an opportunity for discovery, achievement, and growth during their 4 undergraduate years. At Mount Union, there is a fusion of the liberal arts with the practical, a merging of the past with the future.
Ceremonies continue. Ohio with Mount Union enjoying a 24-13 halftime lead. Mike Barry along with Rick Forzano. You see the score there, Coach, and I'm telling you, this kid Tony Cola had a good first half for Mount Union. 8 of 18, 167 yards and a couple of touchdowns, including the last play of the first half there to make it a 24-13 ball game. We're going to take a look at it. The pass, of course, went to number 15, Kenny Johnson. He was picking on him much of the first half.
Well, Tony Cole is the type of quarterback, if you let him take a strong set like he takes on this play, look downfield, he's looking for number 15, Kenny Johnson, running a little turn in. But now here's where the receivers do a great job when they just never give up. Johnson gets hit. It looks like he's stopped, but he says, hey, baby, I want 6 points. He continues on in. He puts Mount Union ahead 24-13 as it stands at the halftime.
I think we saw a lot of poise by these young men and some pretty good strategy from each coach, because each coach during the course of the first half, as the score continued to go very lopsided, first for Mount Union, then Heidelberg catching up and kind of seesawed there for a moment until Mount Union pulled away to enjoy the 11-point halftime lead. Both coaches had to make a lot of adjustments. What do you see in the second half?
Well, number one, let me just preface it by saying this. Phil Morris and Ken Wavell are two fine football coaches. They're proven football coaches. I think in the second half, Heidelberg has to blitz more. I think they have to get DeCola, get him off balance. Mount Union on that side of the ball, I think they have to go to their controlled passing and not try to go so far downfield. Every time they've thrown that turn in, it's been complete. But it's only been complete when Heidelberg has been in a zone coverage. So to get it, it has to be blitzed by Heidelberg, short control passing by Mount Union.
It's Parents' Day here at Mount Union Stadium in Alliance, Ohio. This stadium seats some 7,000, and it's pretty well packed here to watch these two teams play. We'll be back with the kickoff to start the second half. Mike Barry and Rick Free. Play. Mount Union leading Heidelberg by a score of 24-13, and Mount Union will start the second half receiving the football. The Parents' Day crowd had a good time here. There you see the receivers, number 44, Jay Corlew, and number 15, Ken Johnson. A couple of guys that figured very big in the first half as Union took an 11-point lead as we begin the second half of play. Steve Uhas all set to put the boot to it. The ball is in the air, and Corlew will take it at his own 6-yard line. He's across the 10, the 15, the 20, sprints to the right side a little bit. Little stutter step gets him up near the 30-yard line. So the Purple Raiders, wearing the purple and white, moving from our right to the left, will put it in play, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. A 24-yard return on the play for Corlew. Gene Smith, number 91, in on the defensive stop for the play for Heidelberg. Hairston comes to the near side. Johnson in the slot. They run from the I formation. The fullback is Corlew, the tailback on the play. And he gets the ball and fumbles is Ed Warner. Number 38 coughed up the football, and Heidelberg has it, and we have an astounding turn of events here to begin the second half of play. Heidelberg had to come up with a big play, and they just have.
You know what's amazing? Watch the fumble here by Ed Warner. Mount Union has only fumbled the ball twice all year. They're not a type of team that turns the ball over, but Heidelberg showed that they were the type of football team that could make a team turn over, and they did, and they have great field position.
Roosevelt Barrick was the man who pounced on the football, but it was stripped from the ball carrier, Ed Warner, by none other than Mike Seeger, the outside linebacker with 2 quarterback sacks already in this ball game. Seeger, one of the standouts on that Heidelberg defense from Cincinnati, as we have a player down on the field. 14:48 to play here in the third quarter. Heidelberg with the ball at the Mount Union 37-yard line.
You know, Mike, you were alluding to Parents' Day. You know, that's really a great thrill for any parent to see their son performing on the football field, or maybe their son or daughter in the band or as a cheerleader. There's just nothing greater to sit up here and watch your own son or daughter. I know I felt that way when I had it, and to me, Parents' Day is something special.
ABC Sports Beat with Howard Cosell next, 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central. Paul Brown, Woody Hayes, Weeb Eubank, Ara Parsegian, Bo Schembechler. Boy, that's a who's who, huh? Only some of the coaching greats produced by Miami of Ohio, the cradle of coaches. The story on ABC Sports Beat, and that'll be followed by Wide World of Sports. Here comes Borkowski on the keeper as he sweeps to the right side, gets some room, tripped up on the play, and finally stopped in there by number 29, the safety, Mark Rod. 17-yard pickup on the keeper by the quarterback, Borkowski.
Now, he came out like he was going to throw the football, but this was run all the way. Joe Borkowski comes out on the sprint out. He doesn't have the ball up. He's going to throw it. He's got it tucked. He does a good job of turning upfield, first down.
First down, 1st and 10, 20-yard line. Borkowski goes the other way, fakes, keeps, down to the 15-yard line. Stacked up there by the right defensive tackle, number 77, John Heather, a 225-pound junior from Navarre, Ohio. Number 15 in the white uniform with the orange helmets, Joe Borkowski. Had a bad game last week, but he's always played well against Mount Union. He's been kind of tentative, completing only about 38% of his passes, but already in this ball game, he's thrown a big touchdown pass, a 74-yarder to Chuck Ritzler. Now to the near side, he sends Thompson. They work from the I formation. He rolls to the right side, and the pass is complete in there to number 88, the tight end, Cleet Richardson.
They really didn't pick up too much on that sprint out. He threw the ball to Richardson. A converted tackle is now playing tight end. They still have third down and a long 3.
The youngster down on a couple of plays before was Matt Mackey. Has a bruised shoulder, but he'll be okay, and he'll be back. 13-15 left to play here, third quarter, 24-13. Mount Union with the lead, but Heidelberg is threatening. They've got a 3rd and 2 on the Mount Union 12-yard line. Single setback. The play action to Dunn. Borkowski running for his life. Gets a good key block there. Looking to throw again and gets down near the 10-yard line. Bob Fry, the right outside linebacker, putting out all kinds of pressure. You see number 57, the left tackle in that offensive line, 6'1", 210, a senior from Dayton, provided Borkowski with a key block as he scrambled back there, and I think that's really a mark of when those offensive linemen can see the play dissipate, fail to materialize, and then still react to protect the quarterback. There's a timeout on the field with 12:35 left to play. Mount Union leading in the ball game by a score of 24-13. Joe Borkowski, the quarterback for Heidelberg, getting some strategic words from his coach, Philip Morse. 2 of 4 on the afternoon. That big touchdown to Chuck Ritzler, number 84. Borkowski back in the ball game. They face a 4th and 1. They had to call timeout to talk it over. The ball is situated on the 11-yard line of Mount Union, and Heidelberg, trailing in the ball game by 11 points, desperately needs to do something here. It's a big play, perhaps their biggest of the afternoon. Longnecker to the near side. Borkowski on the keeper, fights his way for the first down across the 10-yard line, down near the 6.
That was an excellent decision by Borkowski. He was going to try to come outside. He was pulled up. He turned the ball inside. He knew he had to get a fourth down play for a first down. Good job. He comes from good stock, though, Borkowski. His dad was a Major League Baseball player, so this young man knows how to compete.
He was moving behind that big right side of the line. The center, Tom Clark. The right guard, John Hick, and the right tackle, Washington Ray. First and goal from the 6-yard line. They run from the I formation. And the play again takes place behind the light standard, and your guess is as good as mine. 41, Troy Starr in on the stop, the left inside linebacker.
Well, actually, the light stanchion must have got in the way of Joe Borkowski, because he was going to go to Chuck Longnecker on a little slant pattern, but boy, they had Longnecker covered. Borkowski had to pull the ball down, and he got sacked. It's now 2nd and goal.
He's carried the ball 6 times for 17 yards. The power backfield, the full, well, that's stacked up pretty well back there. They run it almost out of what looks like a wishbone, but of course they never do run the wishbone play. In on the ball carrier there was Kent Dunn, 34, the fullback, and Mark Rogg, the safety, who's playing on kind of a shaky knee, but doing well today, in on a lot of plays. The clock running, 11:15 left to play, third quarter, 24-13 our score. There's a good shot of the light standard. There's an even better shot. Third and 10, ball back at the 10-yard line. Borkowski sweeping to the near side. He's going to carry it down near the goal line himself.
Borkowski, the ball carrier.
He sent number 81, Chuck Longnecker, the wide receiver and the leading catcher on this team, into the end zone. We have a player down on the field. And it looked at the last moment, Rick, like he was actually going to throw the football, but then decided to keep it down close.
Well, his coach, Phil Morris of Heidelberg, has said that Borkowski has had a problem making a decision on those rollouts. That time, Borkowski made an excellent decision. He turned it upfield, but I'll tell you, there was an excellent play made by Mike Heberbrand. He just wouldn't allow Borkowski to get in the end zone, and now they've got a 4th down play. So that tackle by Heberbrand could be important for Mount Union.
The injured player on the field is number 89, Jeff Mayfield from Canal Fulton, the left defensive end.
They minister to him down near the sideline. 10:48 to play, clock stop, third quarter. On just a gorgeous afternoon for college football. Boy, Rick, we shouldn't give it away, but to have a job like this, to sit out here in the sunshine and the nice breeze and watch football, played at its finest by these kids who are not on scholarship here in Division III. Hey, it's a joy that we're here, huh?
It certainly is, I'll tell you. And as you point out, we've got a great day with great people and a fine football game.
Mayfield leaves the field under his own power. He's okay. Heidelberg, the full house backfield, 4th and goal. Ball on the 1-yard line, and it goes to the big fullback, Kent Dunn, and he punches it over. Touchdown, Heidelberg. Kent Dunn, 5'10", 225-pound freshman from Decatur, Georgia, lugs the mail on this one and just pulls his way in for a touchdown. Watch it again.
This is an excellent call, because I'm sure Mount Union expected Borkowski to come on out with that football. Instead, they went to the power eye, had great blocking on the right side by Clark and Hill and Ray. Boom.
How about that? They go for 2 points. Borkowski to number 26, Orlando Curry, and it is good. They get the 2 points. So we got ourselves a racehorse football game right now. 24-21. We're back to within a field goal range for Heidelberg. As here in the third quarter at Mount Union Stadium, things begin to heat up. 10:35 to play, third quarter. We've got ourselves a football game. The Purple Raiders, their lead threatened. They lead it now by the scarce margin of a field goal. And they'll go to work as Steve Uhas of the Heidelberg Student Princes puts his toe to the football, and it's in the air. Another short kick, taken at about the 12-yard line. And the return in there across the 25 up near the 28. Here's a look at the scoring drive for the Student Princes of Heidelberg. Took them 9 plays. They moved 37 yards, and it took them 4:13. Dunn capping the drive on that 1-yard plunge. The Student Princes is kind of an unusual name for a football team. They used to be the Cardinals. One day the publicist was walking by a marquee, and they saw the opera The Student Prince, featuring Mario Lanza. He decided that was a little more flashy than Cardinals, and that's why they're the Student Princes today. Cola, plenty of time, hits Warner down near the 33-yard line. It's complete. In on the stop is number 93, Roosevelt Barrett from Miami, Florida.
Well, I think 2 things made that play. Number 1, it was patience on the part of Tony Cola. He just looked over the field. Everyone was covered. He was patient enough to wait for Ed Warner, drilled the ball in there. Just watch. He looks around. He looks. And it was great pass protection. Those 2 things, patience and pass protection.
Cola to go to the air again on 2nd down at 7. Rick Hairston has it up near the 47, makes a nice turn across midfield, down near the 47-yard line. Hairston, sure hands and sure speed, a pickup of 21 yards on the play. Tony Horton in on the stop, the strong safety. Horton's an interesting story, a kid who went to high school in Detroit, then went to the Big Ten to the University of Minnesota, then turned right around and said he liked the small college atmosphere, and he is now down here, number 44, playing for the Heidelberg Student Princes.
Well, and he wasn't supposed to play today. He has an injury, but, he got caught up in this ball game, and he wants to be a part of it.
His parents must be here. 1st and 10 now, ball on the 48-yard line. Cola up in the air again. Oh, intended in there for number 80, Vince Crowdy, the flanker from Cleveland. Took a fierce hit on that play. The ball was well thrown right on him, but the cornerback, Al Walker, a sophomore from Youngstown, went to Woodrow Wilson High School in Youngstown, has a couple of interceptions on the year, in on a very hard hit.
You see right there, anytime you allow Tony Cola to throw on rhythm, he's tough. I'll tell you something, they're going to have to put some pressure on him with a blitz or something.
That offensive line is giving him plenty of time, too. Rod King comes to the near side. Hairston, top of your screen. There's a mix-up on the snap. There's a loose ball, and they go in to see who has it. But it looks like it was indeed recovered by the quarterback, Cola. And he is down on the ground on his back. Tony Cola, a little bit slow in getting up. Well, Rick, we mentioned the fact that Tony Horton came here from Minnesota. This kid, Cola, he used to play for the Naval Academy.
Well, he certainly did, and I met him yesterday, as did you, and Tony Cola is just a fine young man, and I might add that fumbled exchange right there. That's the thing as a coach you always worry about. The quarterback goes in there and tries to fumble, and boy, the next thing you know, he gets socked pretty good and he comes up with an injury. Now they've got to go with Brian Kusia, a young man from Brooklyn Heights who has only thrown the ball twice, but I believe that Cola will be back in there on the next play.
There he is, number 12, Brian Kusia, the backup quarterback. He's a sophomore, 6'2", 180-pounder from Brooklyn Heights. And he'll take over the Mount Union Purple Raider offense as they run from the I formation on 3rd and 11 with the ball on the Heidelberg 49. And look at that, another mix-up. You don't see that too often, back-to-back plays where the quarterback fumbles the snap.
Well, you'll see the fumble when you have a new quarterback go in there because maybe he doesn't put his hands in there far enough. He's a little anxious to pull the ball out of there. The center isn't sure of the field, and you've got an exchange. Bad series of downs for Mount Union. They have to punt the football.
Rich Gershom is back to do the kicking now. He'll kick it from about his own 36-yard line. This kid's a good one, gets up a big, booming kick. Chuck Ritzler waves for the fair catch, lets it sail over his head into the end zone. So Heidelberg will take it over, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. A 49-yard boot for Rich Gershom, and we've got a 3-point bloodbath heating up here.
To play, 3rd quarter.
24-21 ball game. Mount Union in charge, and Heidelberg has the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The quick pitch to number 24, Heiner Barrett. Tries to work his way upfield and on the near side, gets maybe a yard or two. Left defensive end Ken Carmy from Negley, Ohio, in on the stop. Jeff Witovich, the cornerback, number 23, also in there on the hit.
That Jeff Witovich that you mentioned, Mike, is only 5'9", 170. He's one of the co-captains on this football team, but he sure will hit you.
That's my size. Canton, Ohio lad. 7:44 to play. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. They mark the ball at the 22. They run from the I formation. A good shot there at your screen of Borkowski. Rolls to the near side. Puts the ball in the air, and it's complete to Ray Thompson at the 40-yard line. And the official says, no, you're out of bounds. Didn't get the 1 foot down. Looked from here like it was mighty close. So that'll bring a 3rd and 8. The ball back at the 22-yard line.
I don't believe that Ray Thompson took his route into the field enough so that as Borkowski rolled out, he had enough time to come back to the sideline and stay in bounds. It's up to the receiver to do that, to make his route accordingly so when the quarterback rolls out, the timing is at the sideline.
He made the cut and ran out of real estate, so it's 3rd and 8. The ball back at the 22-yard line. Chuck Ritzler, number 84, in motion to the near side. Borkowski rolling left. Top of your screen. He's going to keep the ball. He's across the 30-yard line. He's got the 1st down. Linebacker Bob Fry from Canute in on the stop. There is a flag down on the play. We'll check out the preliminary signal. It is holding against Heidelberg. Just when it looked like they picked up the 1st down and they put another nail in their own coffin. They've done that several times so far in the afternoon.
That makes it tough. You make a good run, you have a 1st down right there, and then you end up beating yourselves with a penalty like holding. And in football, you always say that in coaching, Mike. You can't beat yourself. Make the other team do it. And right there, Heidelberg on that particular play beat themselves.
That was the 7th penalty assessed against Heidelberg on the afternoon, and they've been slapped for 61 yards. Despite that fact and the fact that it's killed a couple of drives, Rick, they're only 3 points behind in this ballgame.
And holding on the offense, 3rd down over.
Maybe that's a moral victory, if nothing else.
I'll tell you, you don't get much with moral victory. So this ball game, they've still got a lot. All they got to do is be patient. Both teams, really.
3rd and 20. The ball back at the 10-yard line. Ritzler comes in motion to the near side. The defense shifts accordingly. Borkowski, the deep drop. He's looking for Ritzler, puts it up high. And the ball is overthrown and out of bounds down near the 45-yard line. Number 23, Jeff Witovich in on the coverage. That brings up a 4th down situation. Heidelberg forced to kick, trailing in the ball game by 3. Neil Kime and Bob Fry also putting pressure in on the play.
Mike Charles Ween again is going to have to kick against the wind. So Mount Union should end up with good field position on this exchange.
It's a high kick. Number 26, Neil Kime, fields at his own 43-yard line, comes to the near side.
Touchdown.
Makes the cut. There he goes. And it's the kicker, Ween, that brings him down at the 20-yard line. You saw the same thing I did when you said touchdown. There was nobody near him except one player, and he was taken out of the play on a block down near the left side of your screen. But then Ween came over and made the hit.
Again, this is the thing you always worry about down deep in your territory because you're concerned about protection. So as an offensive team, you stay on the line too long. A great block right there at the point. A good turn up field by number 26, Neil Kime, but an even better play by the punter, Charles Ween, to break the wall and make the tackle.
Mount Union, they've got great field position just 20 yards away from the goal line. And Cola to put it in the air on first down. He's got Rob King over the middle, down near the 5, inside the 5-yard line. In on the stop is the free safety, Rich Ashton from Nankin, Ohio. And Tony Horton, the strong safety. They call him the Hammer in their scheme of things out of Detroit. They make the stop, and it was a pickup of 15 yards on the play. Check this score. Oklahoma State leading powerful Nebraska 10-7, second quarter. No score, Oklahoma, Texas. They're playing in the first quarter. A battle of top 10 teams. First and goal, ball at the 5-yard line. Cola, 11 of 22 for 206 yards through the air. The I formation, there's the sweep to the right. Warner, the ball carrier. He's got to get by one man. He slips, and he's in for the touchdown.
For Warner, that's his second touchdown today and his 8th of the year. He had excellent blocking on that right side. It was the power sweep. Warner wasn't about to be denied. He turned himself upfield, 6 points.
The only man that had a chance at him was the cornerback, number 45, Al Walker. And Walker was slipped. He was faked out there on the quick cut inside and upfield by Warner. Rich Gershom on to attempt the point after. Gets up. And it's good. At one point, Gershom had kicked 43 consecutive point-after touchdowns. 6:15 to play. We've got a 31-21 ball game.
Mount Union has just scored to go ahead, 31-21, but it was set up by a punt return here by Neil Kime, number 26. You see the wall. You see a great block right there. The wall is set up. But again, Chuck Weem, the fine linebacker, makes the play right there for Heidelberg, but it's still Mount Union goes in on the power sweep for a touchdown.
Mount Union is now opened a 10-point bulge, 31-21, 6:15 left to play, third quarter. Mike Barry and Rick Porzano here to bring you all the action of Division III football and the Ohio Athletic Conference Red Division. First battle of the season in the Red Division for these two teams. Doug Boyle of Mount Union in the purple and white, set to tee it up here. Ray Thompson, number 82, the deep man. It's a line drive. Thompson lets it go into the end zone. He won't run that baby out. So Heidelberg will take it over, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The Purple Raiders needed only a couple of plays as they started with that great field position on the punt returns. They started at the 20, took them only a half a minute, and Warner capped the drive on that 5-yard run and that fine cut on the sweep to the right side. We've seen in the past when Mount Union gets down close, they're going to run that power sweep to the right side.
That's a big play for them. Now, Mike, if all goes according to script, Heidelberg ought to come back and score on about an 80-yarder right now.
Probably not on the first play. They'll wait to the second play. Borkowski, the quarterback, rallying his troops. They're down by 10. Ritzler shifts, turns, in motion. The pitch to Kent Dunn, the fullback. He's across the 20, spins his way. Look at this. Up near the 40, across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Mark Rogg, the safety, number 29, in on the stop. You call it right, Rick.
Well, he makes me look bad on this play by not going all the way, but I'll tell you, this is a fine run by Kent Dunn. A good call, good blocking by the right side, but a good run. You know, runners have to make yards after they're about to be tackled, and that's what Kent Dunn did.
A pickup of 22 yards on the run. Dunn has carried the ball 9 times, 39 yards. He's also flung a touchdown, 61 yards this afternoon. A versatile back, and look at this, the quarterback keeper right up the gut. Borkowski across the 50 into Mount Union territory where Mark Rogg made the hit on him.
Well, that isn't a called play, by the way. What it is between the center and the quarterback, and all he does is touch the leg of the center to let him know he just snapped the ball. Nobody else has to know about it, and I'm just going to blow right up the middle. They gave him the defense. There it is between the center and the quarterback. And you know, when people say wide open football, that's what I think is wide open football. A quarterback sneak for 50 yards and a touchdown.
You wouldn't see that in the National Football League too often because the computers say, hey, wait a minute, that's not going to work. These kids don't use computers. They use their hearts. And one of them is Kent Dunn, who spins his way across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Some other scores around the country. 4th-ranked North Carolina hangs on to beat Wake Forest 30-10 after they were tied 10-10 at halftime in that ball game. 8th-ranked Oklahoma out in front of Texas, 7-0. They're still in the second quarter. Texas, one of the big teams this year. And Nebraska, of course, trailing by 3 points with Oklahoma State today. People said who should be number 1 in the country. I said Nebraska. They said who should be number 2. I said Nebraska's scrimmage team, and everybody else can fight from 3 on down. Borkowski goes to the left side, slips a tackle, down across the 40-yard line, finally run out of bounds. Bob Fry's the guy that ran him up. Number 86, the right defensive end, Rick Kenzerski, got a hand around his ankle, but Borkowski, a strong kid, at 6'1", 177 pounds, managed to slip the shackle and continue down to the 40-yard line.
Mike, we saw earlier where North Carolina had beaten Wake Forest, and the great head football coach from North Carolina is Dick Crum, who is a Mount Union graduate. A great defensive football coach, Dick Crum.
4:36 left to play, third quarter. 31-21 the score. Mount Union in command, Heidelberg with the ball, 3rd and 3 from the Mount Union 41-yard line. Borkowski rolls to the near side, looking for Ray Thompson and overthrows him down near the 25-yard line. Borkowski on these runs is kind of confusing the Mount Union defense. He's giving himself plenty of breathing room, at least from the rushing linemen. But that secondary, the center fielders, the fly chasers back for Mount Union, seem to have him defense pretty well there deep.
With 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, it's Baldwin Wallace 22, Montego.
Charles Ween, and it's a fake punt. A fake punt. The ball carrier is Scott Urban, number 32 from Gnawden Hutton, Ohio. If you can say that, you pass the audition, Coach.
This is going to be tight. I don't think it's a first down, but I'll tell you, I give him credit for making that call. That's a gutsy call.
Plenty of time left in the ball game. Only 4:26 to play in the third quarter. But Coach Philip Morse from Heidelberg pulling out all the stops early now as they trail by 10. They come up just shy of the first down on the fake punt attempt. Scott Urban, a good running back, but just couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a long way to go to get that first down when you're in a situation with a long yardage like that. So now Mount Union goes on offense. They send Rod King, number 10, to the near side. Hairston, number 22, to the far side. Pro set, backs are split. There's the throw out to Hairston. Juggles the ball and gets it up near the 38-yard line.
That was going to be a quick screen out into the right flat to Rick Hairston. He bobbled the ball, but I want to give credit to number 92, the defensive tackle for Heidelberg, Gordon McCracken. Boy, I'll tell you, he just ripped out there and tackled Hairston. He really reacted to the football, did Gordon McCracken.
Tony Cola, 12 of 23, 207 yards on the afternoon. He barks out the signals. Deep drop, plenty of time. Now he's forced out of the pocket and nailed back there by number 92, Gordon McCracken. And McCracken almost goes into a Mark Gastineau, New York Jets war whoop celebration there, although that is illegal in college football, so you can't do that. No taunting. He's just a happy kid out there.
He certainly is, and you know, that happens a lot of times. He made a great play on Hairston the play before. He's really ready. He's really revved up, and he goes in and sacks the quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd make another play right now.
The left defensive end for Mount Union, Jeff Mayfield, number 89, out for the rest of the ball game. He has a bruised thigh. There's the draw play by Mount Union to Ed Warner, number 38. He's across the 30 down near the 32-yard line. Warner's a versatile back. He's from Dover, Ohio. Came into the ball game with 6 touchdowns and 42 points, which is not only tops on the team, it tied him for the conference lead in the Ohio Athletic Conference.
Again, you have to give Heidelberg credit. They were probably a little down after that fake punt didn't work, but their defense rose to the occasion. They stopped Mount Union, and Mount Union must punt the ball.
2:40 left to play, third quarter. Gershom gets off another nice high spiral. Martin Edwards back to field it on his own 22-yard line, slips a tackle, slips another one, and then is hit hard by a wall of purple jerseys at the 26-yard line. A 45-yard boot by Rich Gershom. And if our calculations are correct, that was into the wind. The field here, Rick, is unusual. It slopes from left to right. So if you're moving across the screen from right to left, as Mount Union is, you're actually going uphill on a grade of what? 3, 4, 5 feet from end zone to end zone.
I would say it's at least that. So Heidelberg only has 2 minutes and 27 seconds in the third quarter to run downhill. So they better get something going right away.
The wind and the incline doesn't seem to bother Rich Gershom. He has kicked 6 times, 6 punts. 5 of them have been over 40 yards, and he came into the ball game averaging about 36.
He is drilling the ball.
Amazing what Parents' Day will do for you. Here we go now. Borkowski, kind of a bootleg, keeping it on his hip, throwing deep. The ball is in the air, and it is knocked down. Intended for number 81, Chuck Longnecker from Bellbrook, Ohio. Good defense on the play there. Neil Kahn, number 26, with him, shadowing him all the way.
Borkowski wanted to throw back to Longnecker. That is a long, long throw, but we have a penalty on the play, so it'll come back to the point, and I'm sure that Mount Union will take the penalty.
They were talking to Borkowski down there for a moment. The flag is thrown back at the 30-yard line where the two people went up, where Longnecker and Kime went up for the football. The sun is now shifted across the field, and we can sit here and get a suntan today. We started the day at about 60 degrees, just a beautiful autumn day here in Alliance, Ohio. We can see off in the hillside in the distance the myriad of colors, the fall leaves changing in the hillside. Just a beautiful setting for college football. Now it's downright warm out here. Feels a little bit like Florida. Makes a lot of those kids on Heidelberg feel right at home. 25 players on the Heidelberg roster come from Florida. And I don't know if they're going to win this football game or not. They trail by 10 right now, but I'll tell you one thing. If you can get 25 kids from Florida to go anywhere, that's quite a recruiting job.
Well, you know what he said to me? I'm talking about Phil Morris, the head coach of Heidelberg, that there just aren't any Division III schools in that area. And that is why they have access to the kids in the Florida area.
The call is illegal procedure. It's declined. The call against Heidelberg. Mount Union says nope. Second and 10 now. The ball on the 26-yard line. Longnecker to the near side. Thompson to the near side. Ritzler to the top of your screen. The fake pitch and the quarterback keep. There is a play for you. Borkowski spins his way across the 30 up near the 34-yard line, where he is stopped on the play by the right outside linebacker, Bob Fry.
Now, this is a good call because Borkowski, as you remember, been rolling out. So everybody starts coming to the left. He spreads the defense, goes right up the middle there. Good call. Turn the ball upfield now, Joe.
This is his 10th carry on the day. For a quarterback, he runs an awful lot. He's gained 47 yards. We are seeing some razzle-dazzle, though. 3rd and 1 as he got close to the first down. The ball on the 34-yard line. One setback, and he gets the football. That's number 32, Scott Urban. The ball juggled in there, but I think he retained possession.
4th down.
The officials peel him off the pile. Well, they're shy of the first down by a couple of feet. In on the stop was Mike Puterbaugh from Alliance, Ohio, a local boy. Played his high school ball at Glen Oak High School here in Alliance. There's an official's timeout on the field right now. They're tending to a player.
I think he's going to miss it by about a foot. That's a short foot.
Very close indeed. Is that closer to a fist?
We're both wrong. Well, he's going to go for it. A moment of decision here.
Number 79, Washington Ray from Akron, Ohio, being escorted off the field by the trainer. And they only have 10 men on the field. Here comes number 57. Now Bob Kerpeel moves around to that left tackle spot.
They can't find a place for him.
One comes off. Somebody's got to go in. He comes off. There are only 10 men on the field now for Heidelberg. And Borkowski on the quarterback snap goes right up there. The official throws a flag, and I believe he's going to call an illegal formation for not enough men on the line of scrimmage, but I think they had enough men on the line of scrimmage. That's one of those mental mistakes that hurt you.
Oh, boy.
You can play with 10 men as long as you have 7 on the line of scrimmage. You wouldn't want to do that all afternoon. It is a first down. Apparently
they had enough men on the line of scrimmage. That's what it was. They had enough men up on the line.
You need 7 up there, and they had it. They just came up one shy in the backfield, but when you're going to run a quarterback sneak, that's not all that important.
Might not be too bad to go with 10 men.
Worked on that play. Under a minute to play, third quarter. Chuck Ritzler to the near side. Borkowski rolling left, looking. The quick flip there to Kent Dunn. A little bit behind him, Troy Starr shadowing him on the play from Cleveland, the left inside linebacker from Mount Union. We understand that number 79, Washington Ray, who was escorted off the field, has some stomach cramps, some abdominal pains. He should be back in the ball game.
Mike, that's the fifth incompletion in a row for Borkowski, and I really feel, I agree with Phil Morris. He was on the sideline saying, run it, Joe. If he'd have turned the ball upfield, I think he'd have picked up 8 or 9 yards.
Well, Dunn was only about 5 yards downfield from him. That's a tough pass to throw when you're both moving. 2nd and 10, the ball on the 36-yard line. Ritzler comes in motion. It's a quick opener off the right tackle to Kent Dunn. And look at this kid go. Talk about a bowling ball. He's finally hit in there by Troy Stark and Jeff Witovich. Kent Dunn is 5'10", but he tips the scale at 225. He's a freshman from Decatur, Georgia. He's carried the ball 11 times on the afternoon and picked up 58 yards, and that time nobody could get a handle on him.
Well, that was one of those calls that if it stopped at the line of scrimmage, they say, boy, that's poor coaching. But that was an excellent call by the bench. Borkowski had been spreading out, so the defense of Mount Union was spread out. They ran that quick trap right up the middle. Kent Dunn got the first down. It was that Scott Urban.
Kent Dunn, number 34.
Kent Dunn, that's what I thought it was.
It's a 10-point ball game with a half minute to play here in the third quarter. 31-21. Mount Union leading Heidelberg. ABC Sports Beat with Howard Cosell is next at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central. Paul Brown, Woody Hayes, Reed Eubank, Ara Parsegian, Bo Schembechler, just some of the coaching greats produced by Miami of Ohio, the cradle of coaches. The story next on ABC Sports Beat. Then ABC Wide World of Sports. Today, 5 Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. The WBA World Heavyweight Championship. Michael Dokes against Jerry Coetzee from Cleveland. See for yourself. Coetzee a stunning upset of previously undefeated champion Michael Dokes for the WBA World Heavyweight Championship.